We've also got the camera feed is also down here as well. Okay. So these are the cameras we'll be using to see. That's very good. Yeah. That's also, Alice does need to do something to stay afloat.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's what, so when you talk about the starfish,
yeah,
that's what I would naturally do.
My turn. We thought quite last minute that we always want to do something before the participants to say thank you. So what they basically contribute towards with the documentary and some goodies. But yeah, it's just it's still important to get that sorted. Well, 5 years ago when the BSA was established, the co-founders came together and we wanted to address a myth that we were all aware of, a myth to do with bone density, race and floating. And essentially it was the fact that people believed that black people don't float because of bone density. Now we thought if we could put this myth, which over time felt more like a belief to science, and prove that this is not the case, we could actually remove an obstacle that exists between black and brown communities who feel disengaged with swimming and aquatics. And not just the aquatic sector, but we could also change their relationship with the water.
well done.
That's it. Yeah.
You can get in there, I've got space.
This is a problem because we know that 96% of adults in England do not swim regularly. We know that water safety isn't prioritised in schools, in local swimming clubs, and in after-school programmes either. So when we're looking at the broader picture of things, Black and Asian communities face a higher risk of drowning, and the BSA established this research because we want to be able to make sure that people know that they can float. It's just a matter of finding that floating position that your body feels most comfortable and practicing it.
Big deep breath in, just lie your head back a little bit. Okay? Not like holding yourself under, you're pulling yourself under. Okay.
Like motion about the water, and without, like, a sudden grab, would have literally drowned in 1 metre of water in which you can stand.
Well done, how was that?
Okay, so the starfish position works really well for those individuals that are quite buoyant, so they have maybe a little bit more body fat, and that means that they can be really passive in the water. They can just lie in a starfish position at the surface of the water. Now, those individuals that may not have that level, those individuals that may be more lean, may sink, their legs may sink a little bit more, but all that means is they have to do a little bit of work with their arms and legs. Our research project with the Black Swimming Association and the RNLI was really focused on making sure that we gave our participants a really good experience of being in the water with us. So every person had an individual coach that was there to support them and teach them how to best adopt their floating position. So that was the first thing. We needed to make sure that they all floated as best they could. We then also measured their buoyancy underwater by, they sat on a bed that we then dragged under the water a little bit, and we could measure the buoyancy, so that's the resistance to them being dragged under the water. And then we did some, and then we looked at some body composition measures that you or I could do on land, and also using a bone mineral density or DEXA scanner. From there, we then finally did a float for 2 minutes and assessed their body shape and how much effort they required to stay afloat. So when you're ready, big breath in and head on
we don't really know where this myth came from. We don't know where this belief came from. We don't know when. We don't know why it's become more of a belief we don't know why it's believed more broadly in society as a whole. But the reason why we did this research is to find out if it's true. And what we wanted to do with that research is come out with a documentary that looks into the roots and investigating exactly where this kind of notion and this narrative has stemmed from.
Press in, I put your head on the bed.
Okay, head on the bed. But I'm looking at it, yeah. Floating needs to be taught differently. We have a method of floating that has been taught for generations across swimming clubs, schools in Britain, around that default starfish position. That is not the case. Floating is unique and bespoke to everybody depending on their unique body composition. So once you get into the water, once you find your float, that might be for one person your arms are up in the air, that might be for one person your legs slightly sink, it might be for somebody else that your hips sink. But as long as your face is up, and you are breathing, and you are safe, and you are able to keep your airways open and receive oxygen, you are floating. Children need to know this, adults need to know this, and parents need to know this. And once they do, we believe that this research could really save lives and prevent drownings.
On average, people of black heritage do have higher bone mineral density, and so this may be where the myth has, or perpetuates that myth. But we've proven with this research that even individuals with higher bone mineral density are able to float successfully in water.
I mean, the tragedy is over 400 people drown every single year in the UK, and those drownings are preventable. We know floating saves lives, and every year the RNLI gets testimonies of people whose lives have been saved through floating. But it's really important that we get this message out to every single person right across the four corners of these islands, and that's why Float to Live or Find Your Float is so important. Everybody can float, it's a case of learning how to do so.